Welcome to this special edition of Sunrise Live from Buckingham Palace. It has just hit 8 p.m. in London. History has unfolded again here today. King Charles and the royal family have joined a solemn procession taking the Queen from Buckingham Palace to Westminster.
Huge crowds gathered in central London as the city stopped to say farewell. Guns fired, salutes, and Big Ben tolled. It
was just stunning. Tens of thousands of people lined the Mall, and the silence as that gun carriage went by was just so eerie. And then once it had passed, a wave of really polite applause.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful.
And beautiful scenes, seeing the Queen's children and the two boys, Harry and Will, marching that long march all the way to Westminster Hall, where she will now lie in state.
Just stunning. Look at the crowds.
Absolutely gorgeous.
So deep. I was behind this this family. They had a little 5-year-old daughter who was in her stroller, and while we were waiting, she was watching Bluey, and she had this gorgeous dress with crowns and corgis on it. And then she started to practice how she would bow as the casket went by. And it was just the goodwill within all of that crowd lining the Mall just made your heart sing. It was stunning.
And remember, the Queen knew this is exactly how it would unfold for many years.
It's
this
fabulous.
has been planned. The rain went, and it was an absolutely picture-perfect day in London.
Joining us now, Sunrise Royal Editor and King Charles's official biographer, Rob Jobson. Rob, it was so moving, wasn't it? What did you think?
Well, I just thought it was history unfolding before our eyes. I mean, it was deeply moving, deeply poignant. It was sad at times, but at the same time, I just felt uplifted at other times, because there was this lady that's been 96 years old. She's had a great life. She's been and seen and done everything she wanted to do. Every step, as you said, Nat, had been signed off by Her Majesty. So I knew that this is all choreographed by Her Majesty. I thought it was really good. I thought the royal family, led by the King, it worked for me. And the fact that they lined up, all those children, there's 4 children in the front, they're all the same. They're all grieving their mum. You know, the fact is, he is leading them, but they are all in order of age, not in terms of precedence, all this sort of stuff. They're all grieving in their own way, and I thought it was, well, I thought it was sensational. I spoke to Winston Churchill's grandson, Sir Nick Soames, who had been at the service afterwards, and I said, how do you think it went? Because, of course, he was there at his grandfather's state funeral. He said, and I said, how do you think the King did? He said it was immaculate, and I think that sums it up.
Wow.
It's interesting watching this because, you know, most of us go to a funeral and we have to mourn one of our family members or our friends, but watching this public family do it like this, gee, it must be tough to be on display in your time of grief.
What I think it's true, but what they've managed this quite well, because Her Majesty, by maybe, who knows, it's spooky, maybe she chose to die in Scotland, because we had all of that private time that they had within Balmoral, and Anne was with her all the time, and the Prince too. Unfortunately, the rest of the family didn't make it, but then they had that procession. That was all slightly different, slightly lower key than this. Then last night they had their final moments in Buckingham Palace when Her Majesty came home, if you like, and it was private again. There was nothing. Now this is the Queen as the head of state, the head of the nation, and they were passing her over to the people, as now the next 4 days the people will come and mourn. So it was really effectively this was the last chance for them as a family to grieve her. They've got to get on with putting the stiff upper lip on now.
Yep. Harry and Andrew, not in uniform.
Yeah, I personally have a problem with this, because I know that they've had I know that there's issues, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Yes.
But out of all of those people there, including the King, well, Tim Lawrence is in the Navy, he's an admiral, but he hasn't seen action. Prince Andrew in the Falklands War was a helicopter pilot, actually trying to get the missiles to fire at him rather than the ships. He was a very brave man, a naval military helicopter pilot. And Prince Harry did 2 tours in Afghanistan. Yet they're the only 2 who are not allowed. They're allowed to wear their medals. They're not allowed to wear the uniform. They should be wearing the uniform.
So those who are wearing the uniform have never really served on the front line.
They're all honorary ranks.
Right.
the Prince of Wales, as he was, the King, and Prince William, the new Prince of Wales, they both served.
Yeah.
And
But not in battle.
Charles was a commander of the Royal Navy, and William has served in all different parts of the
And
Central
Edward,
Regiment.
what's he done?
Well, Edward was in the Royal Marines training, did the really tough training course, didn't finish it and went into the theatre. Yet he's in uniform.
Right.
Harry took shrapnel over his head. He's not in uniform. He's wearing his medals. I just think it was petty.
Right.
And people will have their views.
Vindictive, actually, is what I think it was.
Whoa.
Well, that's pretty
That's
firm view.
that's a reflection on the king, though.
Well, the decision may well have been made before that. It may have been
Right.
made, but I just
Wouldn't
don't
he
think
have decided though?
Yeah. Well, look, the king has got to make a decision here. I just didn't think it was necessary because there's people in uniform that, you know, to wear the uniform would have been a proud moment for Harry. Does he have to? I think he's had quite a lot of enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people argue that everyone will have their
Yeah.
views, so that's one issue.
Where was the Queen Consort, Kate and Meghan? Where were they in the
Well,
process?
they all ride by car.
Right.
As did other members of the royal family who couldn't do this
Right.
march, and it was a difficult thing to do.
So they didn't go up the Mall. They got a car.
They were taken
and
straight
to Westminster Hall.
to a route in there. They are leaving the
Yeah.
palace. Kate and Camilla, the Queen, and the Princess of Wales, now the two most senior female royals. They outrank the Princess Royal, for example, now. So they were at the front of it. Meghan behind. She's not Her Royal Highness, but she was behind, and had a pretty low key. I mean, I was talking to American television earlier. They didn't really focus on Meghan like that. I thought they might, and there was a lot of talk about Meghan being the American Duchess, American Princess. Not a word.
Yep. We talked often during the last week about your front pages on the Evening Standard. I thought tonight's one was absolutely stunning of the King. Wow.
That's beautiful, Rob.
Yeah, it's a great photograph. The words are pretty good too. Don't know about that.
Are they your words on there?
Don't know.
Mate, well
Yeah.
done. All right, we'll talk to you later.